We'll see what happens. Well, hello, and welcome to this live English lesson about phrases within the. Hopefully, it does say that I am live, so we'll see. Sorry to have a little bit of a confused look. I'm really hoping. I'm hoping everything works. Yes, hello, welcome. Things are now working the way they're supposed to. It's been a little glitchy lately with live streaming. And I will say this, I don't think it's me. If you don't know, I have a little bit of experience doing live English lessons. If this is your first time here, I have been doing these live lessons almost every Friday I've been doing YouTube for 9.5 years. I think I've been doing live lessons for 7 or 8 years. I know that when I go to the folder of lessons, it's very, very full. But anyways, I think things are working properly now. You might have to, yes, let me see here. Just let me in the chat say you might have to hit refresh if the stream isn't working. Get tight this morning. There we go. Well, hello and welcome to this English lesson about phrases that start with in the. So in this English lesson, I will teach you just over 25 phrases. I think there are 25. Oh, there's 24. 24 phrases that we use that start with in the. Examples would be in the end, in the past, in the future, in the spotlight, in the bag, in the process, in the dark, in the way. There are a lot of phrases that start this way. In fact, there are so many phrases, I myself was able to think of 24 of them without having to do any searching or to ask AI to fill out my list for this English lesson. So, what are these phrases? These are common phrases we use in English. If you look at this one, this person is in the lead. You'll notice I used a phrase within the in order to describe the fact that this person is winning the race. And there are many more English phrases that work this way. So once again, welcome to this English lesson about phrases that have or start with in the. Hey, hi everybody. I think I think everything is working properly. Yes, I love it when all the lights are green and when the live stream is working properly. So yes, welcome to this super fun English lesson. You'll notice I changed my thumbnail a little bit to list some of the things I'm going to be talking about. I'm just experimenting with a little change, but welcome to Vitor, Unabi, Torahiki, Freddie Wolf, Judith. Judith has her name now. Very nice Judith on her handle. Anna Reeve, Bridget, Mode Eggs, Etienne, Tanya, Alexander. Let me scroll back here. Is there anybody? Unsel is here as well. Vitor, Key Park, Cecilia, Romeo, Wilma, Wanda Prado. Let me scroll back. John Wedge. Lots of fun, familiar names. It is one of the things I enjoy about doing these live lessons is seeing all of the familiar names in the chat. Hi to Moira and MCM. And I said hi to Unsel, but I'll say hi again. Anyways, hi Unsel. So yeah, welcome to a Friday morning lesson. Hopefully everything goes well. If you have a question during the lesson, please use the link that is in the description below or in the chat, wherever the chat happens to be. And I will pause every 10 minutes during the lesson to answer those questions. Are you guys ready? Should we get started? Let me have a sip of water. Mr. Fishieri says it's going to be a 10-year anniversary next year. Yeah, I'm going to try and get to 5 million subscribers by January. No, I'm just joking. Okay, here we go. In the lead, which means to be ahead of everyone else in a race, competition, or contest. So right now, we are experiencing the World Cup. We are watching teams win. We are watching teams lose. So some teams have players who have scored a lot of goals, and they are now in the lead for total number of goals. Actually, here they are tied for the lead. So this might be a bad example, but Mbappe and Messi, it looks like Mbappe is number one and he is in the lead. So that means he is ahead of everyone else in a race, competition, or contest. I'm not sure who will get the golden boot. I think that's the prize for being the top scorer in the FIFA World Cup, but in the lead to be ahead of everyone else in a race, competition, or contest. So if you run in a race, and if you are the person who is ahead of everyone else, you are in the lead. You are ahead of everyone else in a race, competition, or contest. By the way, I should add this. It only happens while the race is happening. Once the race is over, you have either won the race or someone else passed you. So you can only be in the lead while the competition or race is happening. In the know, having information that most other people do not have. So here we have one lady whispering to another lady, and she's saying, the surprise party for Bib is in 2 weeks. Is it in 2 weeks? Maybe it's in 3 weeks. Anyways, if you know something and other people don't know it, you're in the know, okay? If your boss says, don't tell anyone, but we're going to be hiring 3 new people in a month, but it's a secret right now, you are in the know. You have information that most other people do not have. So sometimes it's fun to be in the know. It's not nice if you're not in the know. If someone says, hey, I hear you're at work, they're going to hire some new people. You might say, well, I'm not in the know. I have no idea. Or you might say, yeah, my boss told me it's nice to be in the know. So again, in the know, having information that most other people do not have. In the clear, free from danger, trouble, or suspicion. If a police officer pulled me over for a driving offense, and then during the stop, the police officer started to look in my car, I'd be like, what is he looking for? What's going on? By the way, I don't do anything illegal. But if he says, okay, you're free to go, that means I'm in the clear. I'm allowed to leave. If there was a fire on our farm and I was in the middle of the area where the fire was, I would run to be in a safe area. And when I got to the safe area, I'd be in the clear. I'd be free from danger. So when you are in the clear, you are free from danger, trouble, or suspicion. In the news. I've never really been in the news. They've never announced that Bob the Canadian has done something amazing and we need to report on it. But in the news means being talked about or reported on by the media. Now, here's a funny example, though. Jen has been in the news. Every few years, someone will come to the farmer's market, a journalist who's writing a newspaper article, and they will talk to Jen and they'll take pictures of her booth. They love taking pictures of the flower booth because it makes for a good picture. And then Jen will be in the news. So someone will say, hey, I saw you the other day. You were in the news. So it can mean the newspaper, but I should say, as I say it, I think it has an undertone of being on TV. And Jen has never been on TV, but in the news, being talked about or reported on by the media. In the way, blocking someone or something from moving or working properly. So something can be in the way, or a person can be in the way. Yesterday, I had to have an electrician come to the farm because we were having trouble with the electrical circuits that run the flower coolers, but there was a lot of stuff in the way. So I had to move boxes and vases, boxes of vases and other stuff that Jen had. It was all in the way. So I had to move it so the electrician could come and do his work. A person can sometimes also be in the way. When Jen and I are loading things into the van, if someone comes to talk to us, one of our kids, sometimes they stand in the way and you're like, move, get out of the way. So when you are in the way, you're blocking someone or something from moving or working properly. And if something is in the way, it also can block you from doing what you need to do. You can see here, these boxes are in the way. And this man is going to get in trouble for this soon. You'll see in a picture coming up. But yes, in the way, blocking someone or something from moving or working properly. In the distance, far away, but still able to be seen or heard. So the main focus of this photo is not the man, but in the distance, you can see the mountains. In the distance, you can see the sun is hitting the top of the mountain. It's very, very cool. In the distance, you can see a few clouds in the sky. So when you use the phrase in the distance, it definitely means far away, but you're still able to see it or maybe hear it. Like I heard a sound in the distance. I heard a dog barking in the distance. In the distance, you can see there's rain. There are rain clouds coming. So once again, in the distance, far away, but still able to be seen or heard. In the doghouse, in trouble with someone because of something you did. So this phrase you might hear on a TV show or in a movie. It is almost always portrayed as a wife getting annoyed with her husband, and then we say the man is in the doghouse. So this, I guess, is supposed to bring about an image of the man actually going outside and maybe sleeping in the doghouse where the dog normally lives because his wife is very angry with him. You can also be in the doghouse at work. Like if you do something to annoy your boss, he might give you a really crummy job for the day, and you might say, yes, I talked badly to the boss, now I'm in the doghouse. But generally, you will see this phrase used to talk about a husband who has done something to annoy his wife, and now his wife is annoyed. So I guess in this picture, maybe the man actually put the boxes in the way, and now his wife is like, don't put those boxes in the way. So the man is in trouble with someone because of something that he did. In the dark, not knowing or not being told important information. So if you are in the dark, you are not in the know. So when you're in the know, you know information, but when you're in the dark, you don't know information. So this man in the background, I was going to say in the distance, he's not quite far away enough for that, but in the distance, you can see apartment buildings. He's in the dark. He is not in the know. The two people whispering are talking about something, probably something important. And he's wondering, what are they talking about? Is it the surprise party for my birthday? So in the dark, not knowing or not being told important information. This can happen at work. Often at work, I'm in the dark about things because I am a teacher and I am not a superintendent. I'm not a principal. I'm not a vice principal. I'm not an administrator. Sometimes they are in the know about things that I don't need to know. I'd rather be in the dark because they deal with important stuff that normal teachers don't need to worry about in the process when something is happening. So you might have friends who are in the process of building a new house. Someone might be in the process of looking for a new job. You might be in the process of starting a business. So when something is happening, we sometimes use the phrase in the process. So this definitely is a house, and you can see they're in the process of building it. They aren't starting to build it. They aren't done building it. They're in the process. You could also, here's another phrase. You could also say they're in the middle of building it. So you can see they have the first floor done. It looks like they have an electrical box here with some protective poles around it, and they are starting on the second floor. They are in the process of building this house. Now, I'm actually not sure, as I described this, how many times I said process and how many times I said process. So they're in the process of building a house. They're in the process of building a house. I think because I live in Canada, there are a number of words that we pronounce two different ways. Process, process. Produce is another one. So you can produce, you can have produce. Anyways, I don't want to confuse you too much. This house is definitely in the process of being built. So it is when something is happening. In the bag, almost certain to happen. When Canada was playing against Qatar, they were leading 1-0 and then 2-0 and then 3-0. At that point, people were starting to think the win is in the bag. This is in the bag, which means it's almost certain to happen. If you ever watch a football game, if a team is winning 3-0 at the half or 4-0 or 5-0, not always, but most times the game is in the bag. You know, things can always change, but when something is in the bag, it is almost certain to happen. Hey, let's look at some questions. Let me just check to make sure everything is working properly. Brent has shown up. Is that what someone is saying? Oh, there's Brent showing up. Great to see you, American English with Brent. Good to see you, Brent. Trader Guru. Who else? Manuel is here. Ngotidje. Sometimes it's really hard to say the names. I wish I had a way to know. Your Liana says your classes are really useful to learn vocabulary. Well, thanks for hanging out and learning some. Um, as you know, I enjoy doing this. And by the way, there will be a lesson tomorrow as well. Um, there will be a lesson tomorrow as well at 10 a.m. It'll just be a regular old Q&A lesson. I really hope to finally do a lesson outside. I better get up early. Let's see what the weather says. Saturday, 40% chance of showers. A mix of sun and cloud with 40 risk of thunderstorm in the afternoon. So it might be okay in the morning. The only thing is it's really hot outside right now. Early bird mode. Hey, Mr. Bob, how was your Canada Day? I'll tell you about it in a sec. What's the difference between in the works and in the making? Love your new Blue Jays tee. By the way, I had a Blue Jays t-shirt on the other day. So in the works means something is in the process of happening. So I have a few things in the works for this summer. I have a few projects I'm going to do. When something's in the making, it's similar. It's less common. We don't use that phrase as much, but it means something's being built or worked on. So what's in the making? Like, there might be a new sports team in Toronto, and that's in the making right now. They're in the planning stages. How was my Canada Day? So here's how Canada Day went. We were going to just work on a few things on the farm, and then we were going to go and watch fireworks in our local town and hear a country music artist. That's not what happened. What happened instead is it got really, really hot. Eventually, a storm came through and the power went out. And here on the farm, when the power goes out, we need to run the generator to power the floral coolers and some things in our house. And the power didn't come back on for 14 hours. We were without power from Wednesday afternoon until early yesterday morning. So here's the cool part though. The generator ran the flower coolers. The generator ran the fridge and freezers. My solar project for this room allowed me to use this room and the internet the entire time. So yes, so we didn't go out because the storm that came through came with high winds. And so the event we were going to go to was canceled. The fireworks were canceled. So yes, we stayed home and we put gas in the generator every 6 hours. That's what we did. That was our day. That was our Wednesday. So happy Canada Day. It was not what we expected. From Judith from Hungary. Hi, Bob. Which criteria have you used to choose these phrases? So my number one criteria when I choose to teach all of you English words or phrases is that I need to hear the word or phrase used sometime during the week. So as I go through my week, I'm always on the lookout for common English words and phrases that I can use to build a lesson. This past week, someone used the phrase in the know. I was watching the news and someone said, people in government were in the know, but other people weren't. I heard the phrase in the spotlight and in the limelight a couple times, and I'll get to why that was. So that's the criteria. Okay, have a sip. I will. Thank you. The criteria is, and always will be, you will never hear me teach obscure English words and phrases that we don't really use. The criteria is always, hey, people use these words and phrases all the time. Like there were a couple for this list where I was like, I haven't heard anyone say that recently. Like, I don't think that's common. So that's the criteria. Judith from Hungary. Hi, Bob. How long someone needs to learn English to have an ear to use these phrases well? I would say you can get really far. I think people always want to know a timeline, but my experience is this: if you actively study a language for 3 years, you will be quite fluent. And by actively study, I mean like 5 or 6 days a week, 1 to 2 hours a day, practicing your reading, writing, listening, and speaking. Some people can get really far in 1 year spending that much time, but for most people, it's 3 to 4 years, I would say. Unsel. Hi, Mr. Bob. Do you find that modern high school students are still in the habit of reading physical books, or is that mostly in the past? Thanks. You're awesome. Bye. My view on this is that high school students are sorry, just testing my camera, are not in the habit of reading much at all. I know there are some students that still read, and I think it's probably 50-50. Some read ebooks, some read actual books, but I have a funny feeling that students aren't reading as much as they used to. From Eamon. Hi. Hi, Eamon. I hope you're having a good day. Let's see here. Unabi. Hello, Mr. Bob. Does English have a definite grammar rule when we should use into instead of in the? Thanks a lot. I'm going to get into the car. I'm going to get in the car. I'm going to put milk into this glass. I'm going to put milk in this glass. I don't think so. I think sometimes it's interchangeable. I'm trying to think of an example where it's not. You have to put batteries into your camera. You have to put batteries in your camera. I think we've gotten lazy. I think that we use in a lot. In the chat, Mode says, that was too bad for Canada today. Your plans fell through. Great phrase, fell through. Yes, our plans fell through, but you got to put your solar project to the test. Yes, I was really happy because I was all charged up and ready. Like I was at 99%. I can run this room for over 12 hours, actually 24 hours. I can run the internet, all my computers. I could even do a live stream during a power outage now. So that was really, really fun. But yeah, it would have been nicer to go to the concert. Although it's so warm here, I'm not sure I would have really, really enjoyed it. Akil, can we use unwind and disconnected interchangeably? Thanks. No. So if you have, like I have these headphones here, if they were wrapped up like this, I could unwind them. If I'm really, really stressed and I've been working a lot, I might need to unwind at night by watching a TV show. Disconnected is more like, well, I can't really show you, but if I take this cable and plug it in, when I do this, now it's disconnected. And you can use it for people as well. Like I'm going to turn my phone off and just be disconnected from the internet for a while. So, yes, let me get to the next question here. Hama says, hi, uncle. The first phrase in the lead I often hear from a British TV series, and the action after they say is to take their dog for a walk. So can in the lead mean that also? So you can walk your dog on a lead. We usually say a leash, but lead works as well. So at the park, you need to have your dog on a lead, which means you need to have it on a leash, which is like, I don't know, like a rope or something that you hook up to your dog's collar. Lead versus leash. Lead and leash are synonyms for the same strap or cord used to walk and control an animal. So you need to walk your dog on a lead. If you were in a race, you can be in the lead. Okay, so slightly different phrases. Great question, though, about that. From Know That. Hello, Bob. Of all those in the phrases, do you have a favorite one? And which one do you think you use the most? Thanks in advance, Bob. I would probably say, like, I'm going to talk about in the past, in the future, in the end. Those are quite common. In the way is pretty common, at least on our farm. Often Jen or I will leave stuff in the way. But yeah, they're all very common. I don't know if there's one that's my favorite or anything like that. Giovanni, hi, Bob. Why, when I have to speak English, my brain is stuck thinking, because first I translate Italian phrases in my mind and then I try to say them in English. So a few fixes there. This just comes with practice and being intentional about how you do things. Sometimes it means you need to simplify what you're trying to say. This can be difficult, but one of the reasons you sometimes start to think in your own language can be because I actually think the power might have just gone out while I was doing this live stream, and now I don't have a way of knowing because my laser printer just turned on. It turned off and then it turned on. Let me just check to make sure. Yeah, see, this is the problem with running on battery backup. Anyways, if you can simplify what you're trying to say, like for instance, if you said, hello, Bob, and if I responded and said, hello, I can stop from thinking, I don't know what the Italian is for hello. But if I start to say, I hope you're having a good day. if I make a more complex phrase, so sometimes you just need to limit yourself. You have to really try um, to speak more simply and work towards using um, more complex phrases. From Takagaro, hello, dear teacher Bob. Don't you think you're working too much? 2 live streams this week already, and 1 more tomorrow to deliver. Did I get that right? Yes. I do have a plan, though. There will probably be a week near the end of July. It's not when my birthday is. Oh, or is it? Where I might take a week off. Jen and I might go away for a few days. So am I working too much? Probably. Is that normal for Bob? Yes. Do I work too much and then eventually I get sick or get too busy? Yes, that does happen. But yeah, there will be a live stream tomorrow at 10 a.m. I'm looking forward to it. Christian, did you still have fun on Canada Day? Yes. Actually, Jen, myself and Jen and 3 of our kids, we watched Clarkson's Farm. Sorry, Jen's outside filming something. I'm not sure what she's running and filming. So I'm not sure what she's doing. I'm going to go. Should I go check? Yeah, I'll go check. I'll be back in 1 minute. Okay, just relax. The ducks are by the house. So that was kind of straight. I just seen Jen with her phone running and videotaping. Did I still have fun on Canada Day? Yes, we watched Clarkson's Farm as a family. We had some ice cream. It was enjoyable. We should get back to the lesson, shouldn't we? Yes, let's do that. Okay, here we go. Sip of water. Here we go. In the works. Being planned, developed, or worked on. Hey, are you building a new house? Yeah, it's in the works. We talked to an architect. We have blueprints. We're going to be starting soon. Do you have any plans for the summer? Oh yeah, we have a few things in the works. We're going to go camping. We're going to go see the new Supergirl movie. We have a few things in the works. How is your new business doing? It's doing well. We have a few projects in the works. So it's a pretty universal term. You can use it to talk about a wide variety of things that are being planned, developed, or worked on. In the right, correct or justified in a situation. So here we have a judge saying you win. You can tell this is an AI image because the judge is not where the judge would normally be sitting at the other end of the courtroom. But if you are in the right, it means you are correct or justified in a situation. If I'm driving 50 in a 50 zone and a police officer gives me a ticket, that's not right. I'm in the right. He's in the wrong. We'll get to that in a sec. So when you're in the right, it means you are doing the correct thing or you are justified in a situation. If Jen goes to market and if she's supposed to be in spot number 11 and she puts her canopy and sets up in spot number 11, she's in the right. That's the spot where she is supposed to be. I hope this doesn't raise too much controversy, but when you're in the wrong, you're guilty of doing something. So there was a recent event in World Cup where a player hit another player's ankle and nothing happened. And then another player did the same in another game and got a red card. Both of these players are in the wrong, though. You should never injure another player while playing football or soccer. You are guilty of doing that. You are in the wrong. When you play the game, you're supposed to kick the ball. If you kick a player, you're in the wrong. You are guilty of doing something that you are not supposed to do. I think the Americans are pretty upset about this one. In the moment, giving all your attention to what is happening right now. So if you look at this person, they are watching the sunset. They are in the moment. They're not on their phone. Like if you're watching this English lesson and you're also on your phone and you're also cooking supper, you're not in the moment. When you're in the moment, you are giving all your attention to what is happening right now. When I'm doing a live English lesson, I need to be in the moment. I can't just be Like if I kept looking outside and if I was like looking over there, like I need to be present. I need to be in the moment while I'm doing these lessons. I need to give all my attention to what is happening right now. And you should as well. In the spotlight, receiving a lot of public attention. So right now, Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce, there might be a wedding today or this weekend. I don't know, but they have been in the spotlight lately. There have been a lot of news articles about these two as they plan for their upcoming wedding. At least that's what we think is going to happen. So they have been in the spotlight and they have been receiving a lot of public attention. I'm having trouble being in the moment right now because it's very windy and raining outside, and we weren't expecting that this morning. So, anyways, in the spotlight, receiving a lot of public attention. In the past, in the future. So, in the past is the time before right now. So, in the past, I used to do live English lessons every Saturday. Talk about working too much. That was far too much. Now I just do a live English lesson the first Saturday of every month. In fact, there will be one tomorrow, July 4th at 10 a.m. Eastern Daylight Savings Time. So in the past would be the time before right now. In the past, I used to work full time and do YouTube. That was too much work. So it says the time before right now, but it usually refers to something more than a month or two ago. Like, hey, do you still sell flowers at 2 markets? No, well, in the past we did. Now we only sell at 1. In the future, the time ahead of right now. So we are sitting here on July 3rd, 2026. In the future, I might have a camera like this. Sorry, I kind of missed my description there. We're sitting here in 2026. I have a camera on a tripod, but in the future, the time ahead of right now, I might have a camera more like this that flies around and films me quietly while I'm making a video. I do have a camera that will fly around, but this one is definitely more futuristic. So in the future, the time ahead of right now. In the future, these live lessons might be 3D in virtual reality. We'll have to see. In the end, the last thing that happens or the outcome. So last time we had the World Cup, there were a number of possible outcomes, but in the end, Argentina ended up winning the World Cup. So it is the last thing that happens. Did you get the new job? You know, in the end, I didn't end up getting that job, but I got a different job instead. So it's kind of like the conclusion, the outcome, the last thing that happens. This was a fun moment, although I was sad because I wasn't cheering for Argentina. I was cheering for the other team in that matchup. In the limelight, receiving a lot of attention from the public or the media. Sorry to have so many World Cup photos, but this is kind of what's happening right now. When someone is in the limelight, it means you see them a lot on TV, you see them a lot in the news, you see them a lot online or on YouTube. Right now, these two guys are definitely in the limelight. They're receiving a lot of attention from the public or the media. It's very similar to in the spotlight. In fact, the phrases are almost identical. This one is simply used a bit less. It's not quite as common. But yes, when you are in the limelight, you are receiving a lot of public attention, a lot of attention from the public or the media. Hey, I'm going to go to questions here. Yeah, so I think I'm live streaming during a power outage right now. So that's kind of wild. I can't show you what's happening outside, but it's very, very dark. Like and it's raining, and we weren't expecting that. So yeah, that's what happens sometimes. I'll wrap this lesson up in 20 minutes and then go see how things are outside. From Unabi. Oh, maybe I'm not live streaming during. Maybe I spoke too soon. Let's see here. It looks like things are getting choppy. So I have to unwind these now. Did I use that word earlier? Okay. Yes. Okay, it's working better again now, but there was a brief moment there where things got a little bit choppy. Yeah, there was a brief freeze, says Freddie. Okay, let me turn on members only chat and let me try to remain. Talk about not really being in the. I need to be more in the moment for this live stream instead of focusing on what's happening outside. I wish I had my second camera hooked up because it would be fun to show you what's happening outside. Do you guys mind if we do this? Here, give me a second here. You guys don't mind if I pause briefly, do you? Let's turn it to webcam. Let's go to outdoors. Just give me 2 seconds here. Okay, ready? So, this is what's happening outside. So it is raining quite a bit. Not sure if you guys can hear me, but that's what's happening. Dark outside, raining outside, not very nice. Coming back. Okay. Now you know. Now you know why. Now you know why I am distracted. Let me make sure the live stream is still actually working. Yes, you guys got a brief view. You probably got to see how messy my house is for a moment there. It's like, oh, my internet connection is in the red as well, probably because it's raining so hard. You know what? We should get back to the lesson, shouldn't we? Yes. Live reporting of the weather. So cool. Yes, that was me reporting live. Let me turn my camera off here. Okay. In the chat, it says from Pedro, I guess if Brazil faces Argentina in the semifinals, Bob will be cheering for us. I'm just going to say yes, because I don't know who us is. Could be one or the other. Freddie says second freeze. Yes, I think we're having a little bit of trouble staying connected. I think when it rains, there's a little bit of a freeze. When it rains hard, it's hard for my connection to work properly. So even though, okay, the power just came back on. That's good to know. Okay, I'm just going to keep soldiering on here. And we'll work through all of the little problems. Know that. Hey, Bob, how was your week? I hope you and Jen had a nice few days aside from the power outage and were still able to enjoy whatever you were up to. Yes, so far it's been a nice week in spite of the weather and the power outages. It's okay, says Pedro. Key Park says it's raining outside. Mode says live reporting of the weather. Cool. Yeah, I should do like an action live stream someday, shouldn't I? Know that, wow, there's really something coming down. It is really coming down out there. Like, I am surprised it is raining that hard. John Wedge, hey Bob, no question today. I watched Jen's video number 93 yesterday and found out that Oscar has passed away. Yes. I was really saddened as I went through a similar situation with my own cat 2 years ago. It is really sad when you lose a pet, I would agree. John says, I took a screenshot from the end of the video and created a beautiful image of him using ChatGPT. That is very nice of you to do. Thank you for doing that. Okay. Let me get a question from the form. I think I skipped one though. Let's get it on the screen. Unabi, Mr. Bob, to be honest, if I'd be a news editor, I would love to invite you in the newscast release. Thanks for your teaching efforts. Is it hailing now? I am really distracted this morning, aren't I? I don't have very good windows in this room. Okay. I would be honored if you had a newscast. I would do the English part of the newscast. From the chat, from Know That, just out of curiosity, Bob, have you also been to the gym any other day this week besides Tuesday? Thanks, Bob. I'm going again today. I actually need to visit my son today, who had something delivered here that I have to bring to his apartment, and then I will be going to the gym. Freddie, tomorrow will be in the July the 4th, the 250th year of the U.S. Independence Day. As you live so close to the U.S. border, do you think that many U.S. citizens will cross the border to visit Canada? Surprisingly, yes, even though they would probably enjoy staying in their own country more and enjoying the fireworks and all of those things. But yes, Canada is a regular destination for Americans on vacation. We got a little bit of a slowdown again. That's okay. I'm sure it will come back eventually. Sorry for the choppiness of the live stream this morning. Every once in a while, the quality does dip. From Unabi, one of my recent discoveries is the expression to be in the prime. It has such a beautiful meaning. Do you use it quite often? So we often say in your prime. So if you're 35 years old, you're in your prime. That means you're in the best days of your life. You're the healthiest, you're the strongest, you're not old yet, you're in your prime. So we often use that phrase, to be in your prime. From Wanda, hi Teacher Bob, no questions today, although it's raining, it's a beautiful view, have a nice weekend. You too. Sorry that the live stream keeps dipping in and out a little bit, but I am just going to keep on. In English, informally, we say keep on trucking. I'm just going to keep on trucking. Okay, let me have a sip of water. Let me turn off members only chat, even though that was a fairly short one. Here we go. Let me thank the members. Thank you so much for being members. You guys are awesome. If you are curious what happens if you're a member, click the join or the subscribe plus button. You get an extra video lesson every Wednesday called Wednesdays with Bob. You get a lesson plan in writing on Mondays called Week at a Glance. You get to participate in members only chat during live lessons, and you get your name in green and a crown by your name. John Wedge says, hey folks, don't forget to give a thumbs up. Last live stream, I forgot to mention it. No, thanks, John. No, that says, speaking of your week, how did things go at the market yesterday? I hope there were more customers this week and that your sales went well. Did you go there with Jen this time? I did not go this time because I was home waiting for the electrician to come to do some electrical work in the barn. But it was hot and sales weren't great. It was just too hot yesterday for it to be a good sales day. Okay, let's move on with this lesson. Let me do one more check to make sure things are actually working. Yep, good. Here we go. Oh, I got to find my spot back. Ready? Here we go. Not sure why that. In the habit. Doing something regularly, a routine. This family is in the habit of recycling. Jen and I are also in the habit of recycling. I'm in the habit of wearing shirts with a collar and short sleeves when I go to work as a teacher. Some of you are in the habit of watching these live lessons every Friday. So when you are in the habit, you are doing something regularly. It is a routine. Jen and I are in the habit of putting the garbage out at the road every Thursday morning because that's when the garbage truck comes. So in the habit, doing something regularly, a routine. In the loop, knowing the latest information or being included in discussions. So this is a lot like in the know. If you're in the loop at work, you know about the secret project. If you're in the know, you know about the secret project. If I tell you there's a live English lesson tomorrow, you're in the loop now. You are aware of the latest information. So sometimes people like to be in the loop and they aren't necessarily supposed to be. Sometimes people try to find out information because they want to be in the loop, but because they want to be in the loop. Sometimes I read the chat during the lesson. They want to know the latest information and be included in discussions. In the zone, completely focused and performing at your best. 2 of my kids like to watch Counter-Strike tournaments on TV or on YouTube. on TV. Old people watch it on TV. Those players, professional video game players, they need to be in the zone when they're playing the game. They need to be completely focused and performing at their best. When I'm doing a live stream, I need to be in the zone. I can't be distracted by the weather or the power going out. I need to be in the zone. I need to be completely focused on what I'm doing and performing at my best. In the cards, likely or expected to happen. So if you applied for a job and someone says, do you think you'll get the job? You could say, I think it's in the cards. I think I'll probably get the job. So you are expecting it to happen. Someone might say, hey, is it in the cards for you to get a raise at work this year? Are you going to get paid more? And you might say, yeah, I think that might be in the cards. That is likely or expected to happen. Is this live stream going to happen next Friday? Yep, that's in the cards. I think this must come from like using, is it tarot cards to predict the future? That's probably where the phrase came from. In the cards, likely or expected to happen. In the picture, to be part of a situation, to be part of someone's life. Sometimes, here's the example. If you have a niece and last time you saw your niece, she had a boyfriend. And then the next time you see your niece, she's by herself. You could say, hey, is Joe still in the picture? Like, are you still together? Are you still dating? I'm trying to think of another. It's definitely related to relationships. Like, is he still in the picture? Is she still in the picture? Oh, Uncle Joe had a girlfriend for a while, but she's not in the picture anymore. That means they're no longer together. So in the picture, to be part of a situation. Hey, that was the slide. Bob is definitely not in the zone at the moment. This power outage is kind of throwing him off. I think what happens is when we have extreme weather at this time of year, I'm worried about what's happening outside to the flowers. Did we leave anything outside? We were not expecting, like it's done now. You can tell I'm starting to calm down a bit. We were not expecting that kind of storm this morning. And so I think when I saw Jen running with her cameras, she might have been trying to get the ducks back into their duck house. And so I feel bad because I'm in the house live streaming and I felt like I should be helping, but yeah, it's all over now. So we're good. But I was definitely not in the zone for a while there. That's for sure. Hey, let me check if there are any. There is one question and it's from Christian. What does keep on trucking mean? So a truck is a large vehicle used to deliver things. And I think this is a very informal North American phrase. But if I'm doing something and then I stop for a moment, I might say, okay, I need to get back to work. I need to keep on trucking. Like I need to keep on going. I need to keep working at the thing that I am doing. In the chat, Mode says a little bit. Pedro says, definitely Unabi. We're all in the same boat. We're all in a hurry lately, aren't we? Yes. Freddie says, Bob, I hope you will cheer up the French team tomorrow to help them qualify for the next step. I will definitely be cheering for l'équipe de France, the French team tomorrow. Hey, we're done. You guys can still submit questions. The queue is empty. I feel like maybe people are like, we should just let Bob finish this up so he can go outside. There's just a duck standing in the driveway. Oh, it's flapping. I really should have the other camera hooked up, shouldn't I? Pedro says, it must be isolated rain in your area, Bob. I think so. I didn't look at the radar while this was happening. I'm going to look at it right now. I bet you it was just, yeah, it's literally a tiny storm just above me. That is hilarious. So that's wild. I should have a way to show you, but I'm not going to do that. So anyways, yes. Where were we here? Long says, hello, Mr. Bob. Big fan. Good evening from Vietnam. Big love. Thanks for watching, Long. Know that. Thanks so much for the fun lesson, Bob. Wishing you and your family a lovely Friday. Greetings to Jen and the kids. See you tomorrow. I will see you tomorrow as well. If you don't know what know that is referring to, there will be a live Q&A lesson tomorrow. It might be outside, although that little storm that just came through scared me a little bit. It might be outside. We'll have to see. And then we'll go from there. 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow. I will schedule it later today. You can click the little reminder button if you want to come. John Wedge says, thanks, Bob. It was nice class as always. You're welcome. Freddie says, truck, US. Lori, Britain. Yes. Love the lesson, Bob. Thank you. Long says, hello, Mr. Bob. Big fan. And Chaitan says, hello from Thailand. Okay. Couple things. This lesson will come out in a couple of days and it will be shorter. I will remove all of your questions, those segments, and it will just be the 24 slides in a row. It'll probably be 20 minutes long. I think I did this one a little quick. You should rewatch it, or at the very least listen to it. Repetition is very good for your English learning. So look for that. It will just be called Let's Learn English Phrases Within the Lesson Only. So when you see the lesson only, that's what that means. Tomorrow, live stream again, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I may or may not be outside. I really hope I am. It has been a very long time since I've done that. That was kind of my bread and butter when I started this. Like, that was my normal thing. I was in the habit of doing Saturday live streams outside during the spring, summer, and fall. So we will see. Cecilia says, in the works, in the loop, and in the zone are my favorite phrases. They are good. Key Park says, bye, Bob. Have a good day. Unabi says, thanks for the lesson, Mr. Bob. It was useful. Burgett says, bye, everyone. See you all tomorrow. Wanda says, bye, Teacher Bob. Freddie says, thanks, Bob. See you tomorrow for sure. Okay. Bye, everybody. This is the end. Have a great day. See you tomorrow, 10 a.m. Enjoy your weekend.